Yeah, and I don't think there was anything.
We're not involved in preparing that.
Yeah, I hear it.
But yeah. Heather, what's up? Yeah.
I was going to motion to continue in 5 minutes because I've been reading a lot of reviews. Something that was noting that all the deliberation. Yeah, here, there isn't anything to it. It's just the motion. The second is it's good. And it's something like this. It's something that has asked for.
Feels like our October has been a long month.
Yes. I think it would just be
It
too.
makes sense to you, but makes sense in my head right now. Yeah.
I don't think the office works. Just
What are you doing?
Yeah.
What are you doing? You know you have to be at a hearing tonight.
I ate all 3 meals at my desk today.
Yeah.
calls from previous
So don't you say it. Is that your daughter?
Yeah. So I have visions of trying to make the end part of it. I don't know if I'll make it or not, but
Back in Centennial?
yeah, probably won't make it.
Is traffic bad?
I don't know this time of day.
Yeah.
Yeah, I probably won't make it. It's worth trying.
Yeah,
if this
of course.
goes fast.
Of course. Does she get upset about that stuff?
I kind of didn't remind her because I don't want her to remember that I'm not going to be there.
Yeah.
'Cause it might affect her more than if she just thinks I'm in the audience, you know? Maybe she won't care as much.
Will
So,
her dad be there?
yeah, he's supposed to be dropping her off early, then dropping.
Apologies for the delay. It is 6:18, and we'll go ahead and get started this evening. Just as a reminder to all the commissioners, when you are speaking, please make sure to unmute your microphone to be heard on the broadcast. The public who did not register in advance can watch the live broadcast on the city's YouTube channel. For live Spanish translation services, please dial 720-386-9023 and use code 104091* to have Spanish translation services.
I'd like to call, let me move this a little bit closer. I'd like to call this regular meeting of the Planning Commission to order. Will staff please do a roll call?
Commissioner Sanchez,
Present.
Commissioner Van Heusen,
Present.
Commissioner Biltoff,
Present.
Commissioner Schechter,
Present.
Commissioner Eggleston,
Present.
and Commissioner, and you have a quorum, Chair. Thank you.
Thank you. If everybody could please rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic
For which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I would like to make a motion to continue the meeting minutes from the September 3rd meeting so that they will align with Bob's Rule 1.6. I'll make a statement real quick on that. So that it will note pertains to the decisions, all discussions and debate the body is reaching the decisions. Can I have a second?
I will second that.
I'd like to open up this item to discussion. Is there any discussion need to be had on this item? Commissioner Van Heusen.
It's not discussion, but I'd like you to explain why you would like that done, if possible.
Sure. So where I believe that the meeting minutes are missing the mark is it doesn't have the content of what us commissioners deliberated during our discussion of the case. So I believe that that would help the city council to make a finding in their deliberation of the case. It's just noted as that there's a motion and a second, but it doesn't talk about how the sausage was made, so to speak. So I think it would help the public and also those coming back to review the minutes as to why we got to the decision.
Thank you.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's pretty important, actually.
Any other points of discussion? Can we open a roll call vote?
Yeah.
The motion passes 5 yeses, 0 nos. All right. I will open, okay, let's see. Guess the first case we are hearing is S 85124, Second Creek Farm Filing Amendment 2. I will open the public hearing for this case and ask Planner Nathan Chavez to please announce the case.
Joel Farkas, on behalf of Second Creek Holdings LLC in the City of Commerce City, is requesting approval of Second Creek Farm Filing 3, Amendment 3, a final plat to create 2 lots totaling approximately 20.57 acres for future commercial and residential development. The plat also splits an existing tract utilized for drainage totaling approximately 8.33 acres. The property is generally located at the southwest corner of East 92nd Avenue and Tower Road, currently zoned Plan Unit Development or PUD.
Is it not say 2 on here?
It's 3.
Okay, I just wanted to be clear then.
3.
Okay, this mine says 2.
Yeah, okay, so it's filing 3, amendment 3 is the correct name. Thank you.
Right. At this time, I will ask the applicant to come forward to address the commission with the staff presentation to follow.
Good evening, Chair,
Good evening.
Commissioners. Eric Carlson. My address for the record is 360 South Garfield Street, Denver, Colorado 80209. I'm Land Use Counsel for Joel Farkas and Second Creek Holdings, the applicant here. I'm at Foster Graham, Milstein, and Kalisher. It's a pleasure to be with you tonight. I'm joined tonight with Dan Madison of Manhart Consulting, the engineer of record for this plat as well. As we're looking at the screen here and we're seeing the vicinity map, I want to draw your attention to the southern portion of the gray shade here. That's the Grandma Gulch. And as you may know, the stormwater drainage in that area, this is an important drainage there. The southern portion of this plat is owned by the city at this time. And what the real purpose here tonight is to create a couple of lots and a tract. Am I to the?
Eric, if it's not working, just say next. Sorry.
We'll do the old next trick. All right, so you can kind of see the Grandma goes all the way across in the bottom, and we'll go next slide. What I want to talk about, this is the team, Manhart Consultant and Foster Graham today on behalf of the applicant. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. Get into the meat of it. There it is. So tract B there, you can see there's, as it exists right now, tract A and tract B are a single tract A that is currently owned by the city. And originally, when we were looking at establishing the drainage for this property up for lot 1 and lot 2, we were going to use what is currently looking like tract B as the detention facility, the drainage facility before it goes into Grandma Gulch there. You can see kind of the outfall, which is the notch. Other places on Grandma Gulch, the city has easements. At this place, the city and the applicant decided that it would be better if that tract was owned separately, but to do so, it has to be, of course, separated from that tract A. So what we will do here is we'll take tract B, we'll put a private detention facility on that tract, and it will then maintain and handle that stormwater flowage from lots 1 and 2 into the Grandma Gulch. And so we need this plat to create that tract B in order to facilitate the construction of those improvements. We also will see that lot 1 is designated and zoned for commercial development, and lot 2 will be future residential development. Next slide, please. And that's a close-up of lot 1 and lot 2 up to 92nd Avenue, the southwest corner of 92nd and Tower Road. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. One more. We will talk about go one more and then we'll come back to this. So this is the PUD. I wanted to show this because you'll see K1 and K there kind of in the center of your screen. K1, that is what will be lot 2 for future residential development, and K1 there for commercial development. So we're creating there 2, and then the Grandma Gulch, you can see the triangle that will create tract B. That's the open space floodplain area. So that really, Chair and Commissioners, that's the extent of our request tonight. Fairly simple and straightforward plat for you. If we go back to the approval criteria, as identified in the staff report, we do in fact meet all of the approval criteria. Here tonight, Dan and I are happy to answer any questions or discuss in further detail anything about this plat. Thank you for your consideration tonight. We respectfully request your approval, or recommendation of approval of this plat.
Thank you, Mr. Carlson. Mr. Chavez, do you have a presentation as well?
Good evening, Planning Commission. As stated earlier, the applicant is requesting approval of a final plat. What exactly is a final plat? Well, it is a legal instrument used to create boundaries for lots and tracts for future development. This application type does not impact zoning or allowable uses, and a PUD development permit or development plan is required at a later date for site layout, building architecture, landscaping, and drainage, to name a few items that application covers. Tonight, the Planning Commission is deciding whether the proposed platting adheres to the Land Development Code approval criteria and whether to provide a recommendation of approval or denial to City Council. So generally, the two properties totaling 28.9 acres are located at the southwest corner of East 92nd Avenue and Tower Road. Surrounding zoning includes a Second Creek Farm PUD with a spattering of residential, commercial, public, and mixed-use planning areas. And just across Tower Road to the east is the Legato West PUD, which includes mixed-use and commercial planning areas directly adjacent to Tower Road. So the specific request is to create two lots from one tract and split an existing tract into two. The primary purpose of this application is to create Tract B, which the applicant has highlighted and staff will also highlight later on, so that the applicant may request purchase of the property from the city with the ultimate goal of using the land for private detention. The purchase of the property is currently scheduled for the November 4th City Council. Within the comprehensive plan, future land use plan, the properties are designated as residential medium and mixed use corridor and commercial. This is an aerial taken on February 24th of this year. The northern property is currently undeveloped with only a detention pond for Tower Road drainage present on the site. The southern property is occupied by the Grandma Gulch Drainage Way, and the plan for this drainage way is to eventually route the 100-year floodplain through this drainage way. Please note that East 92nd Avenue to the north of the site is currently not built out, and while residential is platted to the west of the subject site and north, it is not ready for development at this time. And you can tell from the aerial that there's also, the roads aren't even built for this future residential as well. So as mentioned earlier, the proposed final plat approval is to create two lots from one tract, that's lots 1 and 2, as well as split an existing tract into two different tracts, Tract A and Tract B. The new Tract B, located where my cursor is requested to be purchased from the city at a later date by City Council. So the proposed final plat has been reviewed by all relevant development review team agencies, such as Planning, Engineering, Public Works, the Mile High Flood District, and the South Adams County Water and Sanitation District. And subsequently, the DRT has found that the application meets the approval criteria for a final plat under section 21-3241.3 of the LDC, and an analysis of all the approval criteria may be found within within the staff report, and staff is able to discuss each criteria as requested by this body. Lastly, staff has noted the following items for consideration by the Planning Commission. The land within proposed Tract B is currently unused. The final plat will allow the property owner to request purchase of Tract B so that the subject property, as well as the property to the north across East 92nd Avenue, may develop in the future. A future PUD development permit will finalize the site layout and details. And finally, no development is proposed at this time. This is a standalone application. Staff is available to answer any questions that you all may have. Thank you.
Are there any questions currently from any of the commissioners?
I have a few questions.
Yes, Mr. Sanchez.
Thank you. Is this property currently located in the Metro District, do you know?
Staff is unsure at this time. I will turn to the applicant to answer that question.
It is. The property's in a metro district.
Okay, do you know which metro district that is?
I don't have that name
That's
off the
fine.
top of my head.
That's,
I'll have to
yeah,
look at
no
it.
problem. Okay, and Lot 1 is currently mixed use. And it looks like it's targeted for commercial. Are there any opportunities down the road? I know we're real early in the process here, but are there opportunities or any chances that this is going to be converted to residential down the road?
So one of the goals, I'll just answer, one of the goals of this plat is to distinguish Lot 1 from Lot 2. So that
Right.
there's a clear, so that Lot 1 has a better chance of developing for commercial use there, for sure.
Has a better chance. Okay, thank you. That's all I have. Thanks.
Any other questions from any other commissioners? Commissioner Van Huzen.
Thank you. So currently, there's not a requirement for a certain percentage of use being residential and another percentage for commercial or,
So what I'm looking at is the distinction there between planning area K and planning area K1. Yeah, sorry, right in the microphone for you. So planning area K and planning area K1, those are different. And I do believe that planning area K1, which is Lot 1, does have has a distinction for commercial there.
for commercial only,
That's right.
not residential?
So planning area K is designated as mixed-use multifamily, whereas planning area K1 is designated as commercial mixed use. So I think it's very unlikely that there would be an approval there for Lot 1 that would not include a commercial component because of its designation as being, mixed-use commercial rather than mixed-use residential. So
Thank you.
for the opportunity to kind of look at that PUD document closer for you.
Thank you. One more question, if I may.
Sure.
And so is there currently a detention pond located on the site? There is one.
There is not currently a detention pond located there. This is the first step of being able to permit the construction of a detention pond there.
Thank you.
Thank you. Do any members of the public wish to provide comments on this case?
No one has raised their hand and no one, sorry.
So, seeing none, is there anyone attending virtually tonight who wishes to speak?
Apologies. No one has signed up beforehand and no one has raised their hand currently.
All right, thank you. At this time, I will now close the public hearing for this case. Is there any additional discussion from the commission? Seeing none, can I have a motion on the case?
I move that the Planning Commission enter a finding that the requested final plat for the property located at the southwest corner of East 92nd Avenue and Tower Road, contained in case S85124, meets the criteria of the Land Development Code, and based upon such finding, recommend that the City Council approve the final plat.
I second.
Is there any discussion on the motion at hand? Seeing none, please open electronic voting. The motion passes 5 yeses, 0 noes. I'd like to congratulate the applicant on the successful passage of your case. Thank you. Let's see, is there any commission business to discuss at this time? I have one point that I'd like to ask for future cases going ahead, and it was related, we saw it tonight with this case, is if we could have the PUD document, if it's attached to a PUD, could we have the full PUD that we're augmenting? And I think what might help, because that was some of what we heard tonight, was if there's any changes to the use tables or anything like that, that might help us. It might speed the conversation on the case, so that to help fill in those gaps for us.
Yes, we'll, in the future, for plat items, we'll make sure we attach the PUD. And thank you for requesting it last week. We were able to provide it to the full commission.
Yeah, thank you very, very much for doing that.
Yeah.
Anything else? Seeing none, is there any attorney business to discuss at this time?
No, Chair.
Thank you. Is there any staff business to discuss at this time?
Just real quick, a couple updates from City Council. On September 16th, the council approved the Crown Containers conditional use permit that you had previously seen, and also the Commons at 104th PUD amendment that was to allow residential. Finally, on September 23rd, the council took action on the comprehensive plan, including all of the Planning Commission's conditions, and passed that on first reading. Second reading is scheduled for October 7th on Monday night. And at your November 6th meeting, which is a Wednesday instead of a Tuesday because of election night, we'd like to have an agenda item to discuss your work plan for 2025. I've talked to the chair briefly about this, but basically we'd like to just open it up to a dialogue with you. We could do that in study session if you'd like, where we have a discussion about what work plan items you'd like to work on in the 2025 year.
Yes, seeing nods from the commissioners. I think that echoes the sentiment that we've heard from the last few meetings, especially when we were talking about the comprehensive plan. Like it was to have dialogue on those items. So I think we will welcome that and would like to have that as a study
Okay.
session item for the,
It's looking like we just have one agenda case for November 6th, so you should have plenty of time to have a dialogue about the work plan.
perfect, thank you very much.
Yeah, would you like to do that at the end of the meeting?
Yes,
Adjourn the meeting and then go into study session?
yes. I
Okay.
think for the timeliness of the applicant, I think that
Yes.
would, to take their time into account, I think that's,
Right.
would be wise.
Perfect. Thank you.
All right. The time is now 6:41 and the meeting is adjourned.